Guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are staying safe. I hope everything's good wherever you are. Guys, we had the Andrade fight yesterday. Before we get into this video, smash the like button. Let's see if you can get this video to as many likes as possible. Share the video, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate all of your guys' support. I really appreciate everyone that watches the videos. I can see my views are going up. I really appreciate everyone that's supporting the channel. Like, you know, it doesn't... I notice it. I try to respond to all of you. I really appreciate it. But I would really appreciate if you can smash the like button on this video. But let's get into it. So yesterday we had Demetrius Andrade fight Jason Quigley. And it was quite a blowout, to be honest. You know, it wasn't really a fight. But, you know, we weren't really expecting Jason Quigley to win the fight. But I was expecting him to put up a little bit more resistance and test Andrade a little bit more. You know, the Williams fight was a lot tougher. And then a lot of people, obviously, as they do, criticize Andrade's opponent, saying that, you know, he fought an Uber driver, he fought this, that, and the other. Andrade's a world-class fighter, so anyone that's not world-class or below level, European level, Andrade's going to blow you away. And that's why we need Andrade now to step up. And I think enough's enough. Enough's enough. I think the fans have had enough. I think we've had enough. You know, I've had enough making videos about Andrade and stressing how he needs a big fight. I think we all know what he needs now. He needs a big fight. And listen, I like Demetrius Andrade. I don't really go by what a lot of people say, that he's boring. I don't think he's boring. I think he's quite explosive. I think he's got fast hands. I just think that sometimes he goes through the motions and I think he gets bored. And I think what Andrade needs now, I think Andrade is very good. And what I mean by that, yesterday he knew there was a lot of pressure. He needed to put in a performance and get a knockout. And he did exactly that. I think against Liam Williams, it wasn't the best Andrade. And we got... Liam Williams is better than Jason Quigley. But nevertheless, I think it was a lackluster performance. I think Andrade dropped Liam Williams. Let's not forget, Andrade dropped Liam Williams in that fight as well. And it looked like he was going to finish the job. But then he just started to coast. And he made it very hard for himself. Liam Williams also was the reason for that. Liam Williams put in a great performance as well. But after the fight, in a video, you know, Demetrius Andrade called out Gennady Golovkin and Jamal Charlo. I think there needs to be some kind of pressure, you know, put on, especially Golovkin if he beats Murata. Because Golovkin could potentially become undisputed still if he beats Andrade, you know, because then you'll only have one belt left. I think we need those big fights. I think the next fight of Andrade, and I said this in the post-fight video of the one that I did yesterday, you know, to the Quigley fight, that, you know, the next fight has to be Munguia, Charlo, or Golovkin. I just don't think any other opponent that isn't those guys is going to do. The only other thing I can think of if Andrade can't get those fights is he either goes up to 168 and fights Benavidez, which I don't think he's going to do, because Andrade's going to say, well, Benavidez hasn't got a belt. Benavidez isn't, you know, what's in it for me? There's no carrot there. But someone mentioned it. Someone mentioned it and I actually commented back. And someone mentioned it that he should go for Bivol. And I actually, when I think about it, I actually think that's a great fight. I think Andrade could easily go up to 175 and challenge Bivol. Easy. I think Andrade's a big guy. I think he's 6 foot and he's massive. Andrade is massive. Did you see the size of him in there with Quigley? He looked huge. Andrade could easily fight Bivol. I don't think Bivol's that tall. I think Bivol's about 6 foot. You know, 6'1". I believe Andrade could easily go up to light heavyweight and fill out and fight. Plus, Bivol's not a big 175. I believe Andrade could go up there and that would be a great fight. Bivol v Andrade would be a very good fight. Bivol's not really a good puncher. He's himself a very good boxer. I believe that would be a very, very good fight. And I believe Andrade could win that fight as well. I do. I think that would be a great, great fight. I think that would be a fight that I would love to watch. I do think that's something. And I think Eddie Hearn also, doesn't he promote Bivol? Isn't Bivol with DAZN? If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure Bivol is with DAZN. If that is the case, then that should be a fight that should be easily made. Like, now, if Andrade is talking about fighting Canelo, and Canelo was in the running to fight Bivol, wasn't he? Prior, when the talks broke down, you know, Canelo was close to fighting Bivol. So why can't Andrade fight Bivol? Andrade is bigger than Canelo. When you look at it, his frame, his height, you know, I'm not sure about body mass, and Canelo's quite a big guy. But like height-wise, you know, Andrade's got a big frame. He looked massive in there compared to Quigley. Even against Williams, he looked massive. And even against Golovkin, he'd look quite big. Andrade's a big guy. Andrade's a really big guy. So he could easily go and fight Bivol, who's not really... Bivol could easily make 168. I don't think Bivol's a big guy at light heavyweight. I honestly think Andrade v Bivol will be a great fight. But obviously, he's a champion in the middleweight division, and that's a backup option. Listen, sometimes when you can't get the fights, you have to dare to be great. You have to go and do something special, right? Andrade can't expect that. Oh, let's Charlo. If those fights are not happening, you have to then decide what you want to do. Look, Kell Brook, right? He weren't getting the fights. You know, he had a fight with Jesse Vargas, and even though I think that was a mistake because Kell Brook had a fight with Jesse Vargas. Kell Brook could have become a unified welterweight champion by beating Jesse Vargas. Instead, Kell Brook decided to move up to Golovkin. Now, that was stupid. But Andrade hasn't really got a choice. Because if those guys aren't going to step up and fight him, Andrade's got to make a move. He either goes up to 168 and fights Benavidez, but really there's no carrot there fighting Benavidez because Benavidez isn't a champion. But Bivol is a champion at light heavyweight. And that would really put Andrade at another level, because Andrade would have gone out and beaten a really good fighter at you know, light heavyweight. And like I said, Andrade isn't a small guy. He could easily go to light heavyweight. He could easily go to light heavyweight. And yes, of course, Bivol might be bigger. Of course, Bivol fights at 175. But at the end of the day, the size difference isn't that much. And like I said, if people think Andrade is that good, if people say Andrade is that special, why can't he go to light heavyweight and beat Bivol? Why not? Sometimes when you can't get the fights, you have to dare to be great. Andrade can't rely on that. I'm going to get a Golovkin or Charlo, Canelo. He might not get those fights. So what has he got to do? He's got to look, what's the next best alternative? And a Bivol fight for me makes a lot of sense because they're both on the same platform. Eddie Hearn promotes them both. It should be an easy fight to make. But the priority for Andrade right now should be Golovkin and Charlo, without question. Without question, that should be the priority because they're middleweight champions. And Andrade's goal should be to unify the division. Look to unify the division. So I hope the Golovkin or Charlo fights come off. The Charlo fight is a fight that has to happen because Charlo hasn't got an opponent. Charlo's got no one to fight next. You know, he hasn't got, like, fair enough, Golovkin's got a fight scheduled in December. But Charlo hasn't got an opponent. That fight needs to happen. I don't care what network. I don't care who promotes it. That fight needs to happen. And that fight needs to happen next. Because Golovkin's got a fight. And the winner of the Andrade Charlo fight could fight Golovkin for an undisputed fight. And then that fight becomes, whoever wins that fight between Andrade and Charlo, the winner of Golovkin and Murata becomes a humongous fight, especially if Golovkin wins. Imagine if Andrade beats Charlo and then Golovkin beats Murata and they fight for undisputed. It'd be huge. And Andrade Charlo in itself is huge. You know, Sergio Mora said that, you know, Andrade and Charlo is the biggest fight in boxing. I don't quite go that far. I definitely would say it's in the top 5. I definitely say that it would be top 5, top 10 biggest fights in boxing right now. Without question. Without question. I don't think either guy's profile is that big where it's the biggest fight in boxing, but it would be an unbelievable fight. And it would also be a fight that would interest a lot of the hardcore fans. I don't think it appeals to the casuals. I don't think either guy is that well known where the fight appeals to the casuals. But I think it's definitely a massive, massive fight where people would be interested and people would be intrigued. And I think it would be, with the fights that are being put on pay-per-view, like Gervonta Davis, Isaac Cruz and stuff, this would be a legitimate pay-per-view fight when you think about what fights have been going on pay-per-view. This would be a legitimate fight because a proper 50-50 fight between two undefeated American middleweights. It's the kind of fight that we want to see. So I think this fight would make a lot of sense. It'd make a lot of sense. I just think that it has to happen. It has to happen next. Honestly, it has to happen next. I think it'd be a shame if these guys never got in the ring and fight, because like I said, this would be a great fight. Great fight. Great fight. It has to happen. It has to happen next. It has to. But leave your thoughts, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, guys. I'd love to know your opinion. I'd love to know what you think. I'd love to know what you made of Andrade's performance. I'd love to know how you think Andrade gets on with Charlo and Golovkin. Personally, I think I favor Andrade to beat Charlo. I just think that Andrade's capable of hurting Charlo, and I think Andrade will probably outbox him. Charlo has a lot of trouble with movers and skilled boxers. However, if Charlo is able to press Andrade, will he be able to gas him? Will he be able to knock him out late? Who knows? But going off what I've seen recently, I think Andrade stylistically would be a massive problem for Charlo. And I think Andrade will beat Charlo. I think the Golovkin fight is a 50-50 fight because we don't know what Golovkin's got left. And someone like Andrade could give Golovkin a lot of trouble with his movement at this stage in his career. So that would be an intriguing fight. That's a 50-50 just because I think Golovkin's still dangerous. And I think Golovkin's got a lot of punching power. And I don't think, although Andrade's got some power, he's got speed, I don't think Andrade's going to hurt Golovkin. And I think Golovkin could hurt Andrade. So that makes that fight very intriguing because I think Andrade's going to have to box a very smart fight in that fight because Golovkin punches very hard. And he has the kind of power that could knock Andrade out. So, yeah, leave your thoughts, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I'd love to know your opinion. I'd love to know what you think should happen next. And, guys, remember to please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.